You know, every single day we're streaming, we're searching, we're swiping, and it all feels so clean, right? So weightless, like it's all just happening somewhere up in the cloud. But what if I told you that every single one of those clicks has a very real physical cost, an environmental footprint? Well, today we're going to peel back the screen and reveal the hidden energy that powers our digital lives. So let's dive in. To really get a handle on the energy we're using, we first need to appreciate the sheer scale of the energy that's available to us. So just think about this question for a second. What if just one single hour of sunshine could power everything we do, all our homes, our cars, our factories, for an entire year? I mean, that sounds completely impossible, doesn't it? Well, believe it or not, it's true. The sun literally bathes our planet in more energy in 1 hour than all of humanity consumes in a full year. And this just brilliantly shows the unbelievable scale of renewable energy that's out there. But it also puts our own consumption into a pretty stark new light. If we have access to all this incredible clean power, it makes you wonder, how are we choosing to use it? And that question brings us right to the internet. It feels totally invisible, but it runs on this massive global network of servers and cables and data centers that are just humming with electricity 24/7. So let's break down the hidden footprint of some of the things we do online all the time.
Let's start with the big one. Something most of us probably do every single day. Streaming. You hit play, your show starts, it feels completely effortless. But what is really going on behind that simple click?
So take a look at this. That single hour of binge watching your favorite show in HD actually generates a pretty significant CO2 impact. That's because that show has to travel from a massive server farm through countless network switches all the way to your screen. That journey takes real energy. And when you multiply that by millions and millions of viewers, well, you can see how it adds up fast. Okay, so what about something even quicker? Something we do dozens, maybe hundreds of times a day without even a second thought. A single Google search. Now, what's so fascinating here is the scale. I mean, look at the bar for one search compared to streaming. It's tiny, right? Almost nothing. But here's the kicker. There are about 8.5 billion Google searches every single day. So those tiny little puffs of CO2 from each search, they all combine to create a massive, non-stop cloud of emissions. And for our last example, let's look at that mindless habit we're all guilty of. Just endlessly scrolling through social media. 100 swipes, maybe a few minutes of checking updates. What's the real cost of doing that? See, every single time you swipe, your phone sends a brand new request for data. Photos, videos, text. It's all constantly being pulled from a server somewhere far away. And this comparison just shows that even this kind of passive consumption needs a steady flow of energy to power the whole network that keeps your feed constantly refreshing. So we've seen what individual actions cost. Now, let's bring it home. Let's get a rough idea of what your personal daily digital impact might actually look like. You can actually do a quick mental check on this right now. First, just think about your average daily phone usage. How many hours is it? Okay, now add in any extra time you spend on the heavy stuff, like streaming shows or online gaming. Putting this together gives you a rough but really powerful idea of your personal CO2 impact every day. It kind of turns these abstract numbers into something way more real. Okay, I know seeing those numbers can feel a little heavy, but the good news is small changes in our digital habits can actually make a real difference. So now we're going to walk through 5 super simple green digital habits you can start using today. First up is an easy one. I mean, this is a total gimme that most of your devices and apps already have built in. It's as simple as flipping a switch. Just embrace dark mode. So why does this little trick work? Well, on modern screens, specifically OLED screens, which most smartphones have now, a black pixel is actually a pixel that's turned off. It's not showing you the color black, it's just off. So more black on your screen literally means less power is being used. It saves energy, and as a bonus, makes your battery last longer. It's a classic win-win. All right, next, let's go back and tackle the biggest energy hog we talked about, video. The simple habit here is to just manually lower your streaming quality from that beautiful 4K or HD down to standard definition, especially when you're just watching on a little phone screen anyway. The logic here is really simple. A 4K video file is just enormous compared to a standard definition one. So by choosing the smaller file, you're dramatically cutting down on the amount of data that needs to get pushed from the server to your screen.
This just lessens the energy load on the entire system, from the data center all the way to your house.
Habit number 3 is all about a little digital housekeeping, and it's something most of us probably never think about. It's time to clean up your cloud. You know all those old photos, duplicate files, and forgotten documents you have stored up there? They aren't just floating in some digital space. They are sitting on very real, physical hard drives in massive buildings that need to be powered and cooled around the clock. By just deleting what you don't need, you're actually reducing the demand on those servers.
Okay, this next one might just make your work life a little saner too. It's all about being more mindful with our emails, especially avoiding those massive reply all chains or those one-word emails that just say thanks. You have to remember, every single email, from the moment you hit send to it being stored in a dozen different inboxes, uses up energy. But the real issue is the multiplier effect. One unnecessary email sent to 20 people creates 20 copies that all need to be stored forever. So cutting down on pointless emails is a super simple but effective way to save a lot of collective energy.
And our final habit is about consciously unplugging, even for just short periods of time. Whenever you can, just choose to work offline. Think about it. When you're writing a document in a cloud app, your device is constantly syncing every little change with a server somewhere else. But if you use a local application, like just a simple text program on your computer, that constant data transfer just stops. For focused tasks, working offline is a really powerful way to cut your digital energy drain.
So there we have it. We've seen the hidden cost of a click, and we've walked through 5 simple ways to reduce it. None of these habits require some massive sacrifice, really. Just a small shift in how we think about things. So looking at these options, the only real question left is, which one are you going to start with today?